Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. We have got a update today around sporting activities, in particular NFTs across two awesome platforms that we've spoken about many times recently. I will leave video links at the end, of course, but let's go into this one. So Lionel Messi, of course, this is a bit of an old picture now, as he has moved across to Paris Saint-Germain. Now, obviously, based in France, on a free transfer quite recently. It's been quite big news. So he's had many years at Barcelona. But this was quite interesting, actually. So via the Socios.com platform, which we know is operating with the Chili's token, as we've mentioned in previous videos, Lionel Messi has actually been provided a number of tokens. I'm not sure if it actually mentions here how many tokens he has been given, but I'm sure it's quite a lot. And it'd be really interesting how that is utilised, whether he utilises it to create his own NFTs on these platforms, or if he's just been given them as an investment. Who knows? But yeah, part of the signing on fee is in crypto tokens. So that's very interesting. Could we see potentially in the future players being paid with cryptocurrency? We shall see. But it's really interesting to see this aspect of a sign-on fee being given in tokens. So that is really interesting. And we've seen, of course, some really good activity with Socios.com and Chili's very recently on multiple sporting platforms. And long may it continue. Hopefully it will improve the token price and continue the usability on the chain and the platforms, and we will see. But yeah, of course, massive in climbs in both growth and market caps as well across that. We will go into that in a second for sure. The next piece of interesting news is this. I can't find any information on which platform they're using. Now, it does mention something here about finance platform, but that could be absolutely anything. And I've been trying to search whereabouts in whether this is Japanese based or elsewhere, but I'm also not sure if this is a typo, because it seems that about 100 odd articles have written exactly the same thing or copied the same thing, but then further down it says finance platform. Well, to me that could be anything, because everything involved with finance is a finance platform essentially. So if anyone has any information, please do drop it in the comments below if you know what chain they're using or platform they're using for these tokens. But yeah, it's led by this foundation. But this is relating to the Yokohama B Corsairs. I'm assuming that's Corsairs in the esports brand and gaming peripherals brand. I'll have to have a look at that. But the main thing here is that these guys have now launched their NFTs and involved in cryptocurrency in some format via that aspect. So this is really interesting. I think very much basketball is becoming quite popular in the Asian market, of course, as it has done for a decade or so now, and even more so recently. But I think this in general, I really would like to know who's run this, because it'd be amazing if it was Chili's or Crow or any of the other ones that we know of very well. But let's see how it goes. But yeah, I think this is another fantastic bit of news for NFT market and sport and esports as well, coming together for this new innovative way of transacting, getting fans involved in the brands of sport, in the sports themselves as well, and getting them involved in voting or engagement with the fans. It's bringing fans closer, which is what we always mention, the point of being one of the key points for the sport industry and this crypto industry coming together. So let's keep an eye on that as well. I'll keep you updated on any other relations to this. Another bit of news here, I won't go into detail on it, but it looks like HNT, so Helium, grows 40% after selling 111 million tokens. That's incredible. I have to do a video on that. We did do one recently on Helium. Go check it out. And then finally, another bit of news here, not related to sports, but I thought I'd throw this in there because I thought this was quite interesting as a service. So Crypto.com, use obviously the Crow token, CRO, on the exchange, have launched a tax service. Okay, so they did the soft launch in Canada and America. I will do an update on how that's gone. But they have just done one in Australia as well. I would really welcome one in the UK. I think to have some kind of universal service where you can trade, invest in NFTs and tokens and things like this, as well as have all the calculation of tax and everything in that service as well. I really think that's a fantastic thing for these guys to do. As far as I'm aware, I don't see this kind of service being offered by any other exchange platforms. Please do correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But this is fantastic because we're talking about the regulation conversations on and on. But I think with this kind of aspect on here, it makes sure that everyone, while they're utilising the platform, they get the additional service of making sure that the tax and everything is done correctly as well. So I would really welcome this in our country here in the UK. And I'm sure other countries and users of crypto will appreciate this kind of service as well. So let's see how this develops. I would like to see more and more of this, and it goes back to our topic a few weeks back about how I believe that exchanges will eventually become the new banks. But the thing is, the banks have fallen asleep for so long, offering poor service, poor return on investments and things like this. And I think if these exchanges do more and more kind of financial offerings and service, they will really win this space easily and quickly because people are fed up now. And to have this kind of aspect, especially if you're new as well, and there's so many questions about tax in crypto, but to have a massive, humongous exchange and platform like Crypto.com getting on board with this kind of thing will hopefully create a ripple effect and others will follow. So I'll keep you updated on that. And then finally, over here in the UK, USB sticks, awesome. Could you imagine finding a USB stick which had like phenomenal amounts of like crypto on it? I don't know what you do with it, how you find the owner, it'd be interesting to know. But yeah, there has been a phenomenal amount of money found on USB sticks over in Manchester, and a net worth of $9.5 million of Ethereum were found on these USB. In fact, maybe even more involved with other currencies as well. But that's quite a phenomenal amount. It's obviously been tracked for a while, or perhaps some other illegal activities were going on at the same time and they just so happened to find them. But it's really interesting to see because we saw the $600 million hack recently as well, and that was found extremely quickly. I'm really impressed. Clearly there's a network and a team involved within the police network and everything like this, crime units, to get on top of this kind of thing. Because you could imagine maybe 5-10 years ago, all of the really bad stuff that was going on with crypto has not necessarily all been stamped out, but it seems to be really kept on top of by legal teams and everything like this. So it's really good to see that there's that kind of response, and more importantly is the return of the money to the rightful owners, and hopefully that can happen with KYC and everything like that. Let's see how that develops. But yeah, this is very interesting news above what we saw recently about the hacks. It's not great news for crypto, but I think it raises the awareness that it's quick and easy to find out what's going on and also return money to users. So I think that's positive from a negative situation, absolutely. But back to the point of the fan tokens and the Crypto.com exchange, I just thought I'd bring up the charts very quickly at the end of this video. So on Chili's at the moment, this could be related, of course, to organic market growth in general because of everything else going on in the crypto sphere. But I do also believe that I'm sure there's some element of the Messi deal going through. Obviously, Lionel Messi is a gigantic social media outlet, of course, as well as being, if not the biggest player in our lifetime, or my lifetime certainly. But yeah, this is really good to see. We're nearly testing that 37 cents mark. Hopefully we will close above that, and we might move to that 40 to 42 cents. Let's see how we go. We're still a bit way off of the 80 or 83 cents I think we reached back in April, so that's quite interesting. So we're almost halfway there, so it's not far off getting that traction back. But I think like the key support levels, of course, as I mentioned, with 42 and probably around that sort of 47 to 50 cent mark is where we're going to have a bit of an interesting struggle of resistance and support findings. But I do think the way the market's going at the moment, we should be able to close above this point of level and support, and then hopefully move upwards again. Let's see how that goes. But I do anticipate as well some kind of drop off, because we have had very good movement. Again, as I've mentioned in other videos, there's the V shape. We've had really good movement since the 21st July. That's almost a month of very much progressive growth, and I do anticipate a small drop off perhaps. Let's just quickly look at sorry, I do apologize. I think I've moved the chart to, there we go, so hopefully you can see that what I'm talking about now. I do need to remember where our silly boat logo is. So yeah, that's just very much where we are at the moment. And in general as well, just to confirm that for you guys, I will quickly stick the RSI 14-day into here as well. So yeah, we are very much at the highish end. I think there is a small amount of movement still to come on the positive aspect, but I think that yeah, do anticipate maybe a small drop off just because of that 4 or 5 days of really good volume that we've had come in on this chart. And then finally, crypto.com, so CRO on exchange, not so much a similar pattern. Here's the V again, similar time. We've actually had two, sorry, this one here, this is the latest one that sort of matches the rest of the market. Again, good growth, bit of a tail off here, but we are moving back, as you can see, as of recording. We are looking positive. Hopefully we will close above these lines here. So currently tracking at just over 14 cents. I would like us to try and attack this part here on 15.6. I think I'll just call it 15 cents to be easier. But let's see how we go. We've got to try and make sure we get maybe a day or two extra of over that 14 cent mark, so we can move up to these challenging lines as well. Can we also see if we can get to this level up here eventually, which is around 20 cents. So nowhere near yet the 25, but they're the sort of next brackets that we are looking at for Crow. And I should really prepare myself a lot better than this, but let's stick this in. Here we are. So plenty of movement still left. We're in kind of like the middle of range at the moment on the RSI. So I do anticipate maybe a bit more of an increase as news comes in. But yeah, we're sort of tracking around that midpoint. I would like to see us push a bit more further ahead before we see some kind of correction and retracement, but we will see how it goes, and I'll keep you guys updated as always. Please do like and subscribe to the channel, really helps us out. Hope you found this video informative. Please leave comments below on what you think of Crow and Chiliz, and also the other news of the NFTs, especially around the Messi situation. Messi situation, and also the other bits of news that we covered as well, and anything else you want us to cover in future videos, please do let us know. We always reply to every single comment. So hopefully that is everything, and we will see you guys and all the crypto assets on the moon. Take care, see you in the next one. Goodbye. Lionel Messi.